What's up, YouTube? I am Bob Sixx, and this is Sixx Daze. Alright, this week's episode of Sixx Daze is going to be true stories and bullshit. Bringing back a popular version or episode or topic from my earlier vlogs. I used to do this a couple of years ago, and when I auditioned for America's Got Talent, I didn't want them to see that, some of the stuff that I say, because it's not always popular with everybody, rubs some people the wrong way. So I decided to delete all of them. Turns out, if I had just told America's Got Talent a sad story like all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down, I probably would have made it on the show, because that's all they're looking for is fucking sob stories. Not saying talented people don't get on there, but it's a big sob story fest. Kind of glad I didn't make it. Anyways, those of you that have been with me from the beginning, don't give it away. I want to see who can get which is the bullshit and which is true stories, because some of you guessed the wrong ones too. But before I get too deep into this, let me give a big shout out to my friends Steve and Eddie over at Von Bastille. These guys kick ass. They're the ones that did my intro music. I can never appreciate or let them know how much I appreciate what they did for me. That fucking kick ass. They didn't just throw some piece of shit together, they threw something that kicks ass together. Love it. So go check them out on their YouTube page at Von Bastille. Make sure you tell them Bob Sixx sent you. Alright, here we go. Trick is, I'm going to tell you some true stories that sound like bullshit, and one bullshit story that should sound like the truth. Let's see if you can guess it. So, my parents when I was young had bought me a nice 28-inch 10-speed, not made for riding wheelies and jumping shit on, but I learned to do that and I could ride wheelies for a long way on this bad boy. But the rims were all kind of warped and it was in pretty rough shape, but I fucking love this bike. So when we were at Fort Lewis, I had went to the bowling alley with some friends. I never liked my bike. Who's going to steal a piece of shit? That was my thought process anyways. So when we came out of the bowling alley, my bike was laying down and I made some reference like piece of shit fell over or something like that, and somebody that was standing outside smoking a cigarette laughed and said, "That's the damnedest thing I ever saw." He said that someone actually started to steal my bike. They got on it, started to ride away, brought it back and threw it down in the bike rack because it was such a piece of shit. There was a girl named Lisa. She's one of those pretty girls that doesn't know she's pretty. Super nice, super shy, but she had a crush on a friend of mine named Ed, and she was afraid to talk to him, but she was telling me one night that she had a crush on him. I said, "Look, he's a super nice guy, real down to earth, he's single, available, you should go up and talk to him." And she said, "What do I say?" I said, "Look, his name's Steve, just go up and say hi." So he was standing by the dance floor watching the people out on the dance floor, and she walked up beside him and said, "How are you doing, Steve?" Which he didn't respond because his name ain't Steve. So she touched his arm and said, "Steve," and he looked down at her and said, "My name's Ed." Man, I'm sure most of you don't find that as funny as fucked up, but I found it funny as hell. I laughed so fucking hard. Okay, next story is my friend Jim. Not the best looking guy in the world, but a hell of a good dancer. All the women love to dance with him, but they wouldn't give him no pussy. Because nice personality, good dancing, don't make you hot. So, one time after many years, Jim finally hooked up with someone, not bad looking, went home with her. So, at the bar that I was running, my wife was the head bartender, and I didn't like her being there by herself, So I always stayed. When we opened, I stayed with her until other people started showing up. So we're sitting there, it's just me and her, she's getting the bar ready for the night, and I'm drinking and playing video games. One of them countertop trivia games. And Jim came in, got a beer, he sat down next to me, and he said, "Do you see who I left with last night?" I said, "Yes, I tried to stop you." He said, "Stop me?" I said, "You didn't recognize her?" He said, "I didn't know her, I just met her last night." And I said, "Well, yes, you did just meet her last night. But the three of us used to shoot pool back here all the time together." I said, "It took me a few minutes to realize when I was talking to her who she was." He goes, "Dude, I don't know her." I said, "No, you don't know her, but you did know him. She used to be a he." He sat there for a few minutes and left. My wife asked me, "What are you going to do if he goes and kills her?" I didn't think about that. Forgot all about it, let it go. About 2.5 hours later, he comes back, gets a beer, sits down next to me, and says, "Dude, I think you're wrong." "About what?" "That chick." I said, "Dude, I don't know her." And you could just see stone set in his face. He said, "I'm gonna fucking kill you." "Why?" He said, "Because I just spent the last 2 hours at her house looking at her fucking photo albums, making sure she's always been a girl." Poor Jim. Alright, last story. My mom, about a month or so ago, was looking for a new healthcare provider, primary healthcare provider. So nobody really had any good references, so she was just looking through the phone book, and she came across the name Victor Thomas. But she went to high school with a guy named Victor Thomas. He was the quarterback, the class president, just fucking everybody loved this guy, and he was super hot, just amazing. And she's like, "Oh my God." Name recognition alone, she scheduled an appointment because she knows the odds of some guy from Florida being here as a doctor, especially that she went to school with. So she scheduled the appointment, goes in, and the receptionist shows her into the doctor's office, sits her down at the desk, says he'll be in a moment, and as she's looking on his wall at his college degrees, and all of a sudden, right there, was his high school diploma. He was a Winter Haven Blue Devil. Oh my God! And it's the same class as her. This has to be Victor Thomas. Oh, her heart was rushing. She said she could feel her body heat rising. And he walked in, and sure as shit, it was him. He almost looked like they looked in high school, just his hair was thinning a little bit. But oh my God. And she said her heart was just pounding in her chest. He sits down, they do the few introduction nicety things, and she goes, "I see that you were Winter Haven Blue Devil. I was too." And he said, "Yes, that was a fun time in my life. I love that." She said, "I had you in one of my classes." And he was searching her eyes, looking deep into her soul. And she said she just felt her body temperature rising and her pulse pounding harder and harder. Could it be that he remembered me? Oh my God! He remembered little Susie Maltsby? And all of a sudden, after a few minutes of staring into her eyes, he said, "I'm not sure that I remember you. My mom said she was just hoping, please." And she said, after a few seconds of this long pause that seemed like an eternity, she said, "Then that bald-headed son of a bitch asked me what class I taught." Can you fucking believe him? Needless to say, he's not going to be my mom's new primary health care provider. Anyways, this one. I'm sure it's short. I don't know how long it is. I can't see because I don't have my glasses on. But I purposely want to do a few that are more lighthearted and or stupid or anything but the serious shit that I was doing. I do the serious ones because that's what I get a lot of people asking about. I get a lot more darker subjects that people want to discuss. I will say that after I do a few more of these lighthearted ones, I am going to come back into the seriousness, and when I do, I'm coming with a fucking vengeance. Because the first serious episode I shoot after I do a few of these, depending on how these go, is going to be about the double standard in America. And it's going to be ugly, and it's going to piss a few people off, but it is what it is. Like I say, this is complete, uncensored honesty. Like it or not, you got to accept the fact that I'm being honest with y'all, not phoning. So I do appreciate those of you that are watching, especially if you're still here. I appreciate, got a new subscriber. Outstanding. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, go ahead and give me a thumbs down. You got something you want to say? Say it. I really want you to pick out which story you believe is true and or bullshit. I should say, I want you to pick out which story that you think is bullshit. I will do a giveaway if you can tell me which one is bullshit. You haven't won a prize from me yet. I have some pins already made. They're little bolt action pins. You can find them on my Facebook page, Wild West Pins. You can see them. They're posted there. They are for sale, but I will give one of them away. If you're the winner, I will give you a few options. Contact me on my Wild West Pins page on Facebook once I tell you you're the winner. Leave your comments here. I will let you specifically know. I'll reply to your comment and let you know that you're the winner. If there's multiple people with the right answer and you're not one of my long-time followers, I hate to do that to you, but if you've already heard this, it's not really fair because you know which one's bullshit, because I told these stories before, so you know which one's bullshit. So I hate to exclude you, but I'm going to exclude you in this one. This is just for the newer followers who haven't heard these before. If the first person to pick the bullshit story, I will let you know here in the comments that you're the winner. Contact me through my Wild West Pins Facebook page, and we'll pick the pin that I'm going to send you. They're already made, so it's a limited choices, but I'll send it to you absolutely free. So once again, I do appreciate you. Until next time, have a great day, and if you get the chance, for God's sake, make someone laugh. I am Bob Sixx. Peace!